Tutorial number 11 is on the antenna tuner. The antenna tuner goes between the SWR meter and the antenna tuner is necessary if the SWR at the transmitter is too high. So if you measure an SWR from the antenna of 3 to 1 or 4 to 1, and you don't want to make adjustments to your antenna to bring the SWR down, because sometimes you can't, then an antenna tuner placed after the SWR meter will allow you to match the 50 ohm impedance and make it appear as though the antenna is 50 ohms impedance, which would give you an SWR of 1 to 1. Let's have a look. Here we've got the placement of the SWR. I'm just going to give myself a pen color here. Green will do. Here we've got the placement of the SWR meter. The antenna tuner. This is our transmitter. Straight after the transmitter we should have our SWR meter and then our antenna tuner. And we use an antenna tuner when we do not know what the impedance of the antenna is, or it's an antenna which naturally has an impedance which is a long way from 50 ohms. Remember, our transmitter needs 50 ohms, and when we have 50 ohms here, the SWR here will be 1 to 1. Now you do not have to use an antenna tuner in your practical assessment. You only need to know what an antenna tuner is used for and a very basic idea of how it's adjusted. And thankfully it's easy, because I've shown two pictures of SWR antenna tuners. You'll notice that they all have an inbuilt SWR meter. This one has a cross needle SWR meter. This one has separate meters for power and SWR. This is SWR here. This is power here. Might just bring it up a little bit if I can zoom in. So that's SWR. This is SWR and power, cross needle meter, much more useful than this type. All antenna tuners have the same thing in common. They basically have three controls: an input, an output. On this one we have tune and load, which is exactly the same thing as input and output. And we have a band switch. Sometimes it's called a band switch, sometimes it's just called inductance. And what you do is observe the protocols prior to transmission, transmit a carrier on AM, FM or CW, low power, and then it's as easy as this. These three controls, input, output and inductor, input, output and inductor, are alternatively adjusted to bring the SWR down to the lowest possible value. So you would adjust this one, then that one, then this one, and you would see the SWR come down, 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 and it doesn't matter where you start, you just go from one to the other, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, back and forth, until you get the minimum SWR. What most radiometers do once they've done that is they write down the positions on the knobs, so that when they need to tune up on a band, they can roughly put the three switches in the right location. They usually have a chart up on the wall for each band and what their antenna tuner positions are for that band, which means you've only got to do a minor adjustment. You do not have to adjust an antenna tuner in your practical assessment. You've got to have a brief idea of what an antenna tuner does. It matches an unknown impedance of the antenna, which is not 50 ohms, to the 50 ohm impedance of the transmitter, giving us a very low, or in fact sometimes perfect SWR of 1 to 1, but 1.5 to 1 is enough. That's it for antenna tuners.